Our top story, India's first case of the coronavirus variant XE was reported in Mumbai today. The Mumbai Municipal Corporation, the city's civic body, making that announcement in a press release. One case of the Kappa variant has also been detected. The patients with these new variants of the virus don't have severe symptoms so far. The new mutant, however, could be more transmissible than any other strain of COVID-19. This is what the World Health Organization had said last week. Official sources from the Home Ministry, however, disagreed, saying present evidence does not suggest that this is the XE variant, which was first detected in the United Kingdom on the 19th of January.
The patient who tested positive having foreign travel history, we put the patient sample for genome sequencing and that genome sequencing along with the 230 samples. Out of 230, 228 are found to be having a BA2, Omicron BA2 variant, and one having Kappa and the one having XE. As per the WHO's guidelines and WHO's indications, the BA2 and XE are at par so far as the spreadability is concerned. So as of now, there is nothing to worry about. This patient got infected 2 months back, got recovered in 2 or 3 days time. His close contact and high-risk contact also, safe. They are not infected.
The newly liberated town of Borodyanka may have faced some of the worst attacks since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine. Borodyanka, a small town located to the northwest of Kiev, could have hundreds of people buried under the rubble of civilian apartment blocks that have been destroyed in Russian shelling attacks. Vishnu Shom gets us the latest details.
There's been a town called Bucha which has been liberated. This is now the town of Borodyanka which has been liberated. Take a look at this footage. This is drone footage, video footage of this town being completely destroyed, as you can see. And therefore the big question is this another mass grave? Are there going to be massive casualties in this area? And the answer is, at the moment we don't know, but Ukrainian authorities say there is a lot of rubble over here. And underneath the rubble, there's a real fear that many people could in fact be trapped over there or be dead under that rubble. As this entire situation changes, and you can see some of the devastation over there, we are going to be getting many more, sadly, horrific stories from Ukraine, areas from where the Russians have actually withdrawn. These are the areas which were full of people. What's happened to them, we should be knowing in the days ahead.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi has said India stays firm with its own interest while being viewed as a nation that can firmly speak about humanity at a time when the entire world is divided into two rival factions. The Prime Minister was speaking on the occasion of the 42nd Foundation Day of the BJP, for which there were massive celebrations.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लिए हमेशा ये मंत्र रहा है कि व्यक्ति से बड़ा दल और दल से बड़ा देश।
भारत माता की वंदे।
Celebrations at the BJP headquarters on the 42nd Foundation Day of Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP President JP Nadda also carried out Shobha Yatra in Delhi. The BJP reminding its workers and supporters of this 42-year journey with this promotional tweet.
ये भविष्यवाणी करने का साहस करता हूं, अंधेरा छटेगा, सूरज निकलेगा, कमल खिलेगा.
Featuring Atal Bihari Vajpayee, recounting the journey of the party from its foundation in 1980 to becoming what it calls largest political party in the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually addressed party workers across the country, highlighting the achievements of the party.
कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी, कच्छ से कोहिमा तक भाजपा एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के संकल्प को निरंतर सशक्त कर रही है।
But it was this important message to his workers that caught a lot of attention. Amid the crisis in Ukraine and criticism from the West on India's choices, Prime Minister claiming that national interest must be paramount.
जब पूरी दुनिया दो विरोधी ध्रुवों में बटी हो, तब भारत को एक ऐसे देश के रूप में देखा जा रहा है जो दृढ़ता के साथ मानवता की बात कर सकता है। हमारी सरकार राष्ट्रीय हितों को सर्वोपरि रखते हुए काम कर रही है।
Earlier in the day, India silenced criticism from Western nations like the US, who called the country's response to the Russia-Ukraine war as shaky. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar condemning the war in the most unambiguous terms. Back in the party headquarters, party chief JP Nadda met with envoys of 13 countries. A political dig at the opposition too completed the day.
अभी भी देश में दो तरह की राजनीति चल रही है। एक राजनीति है परिवार भक्ति की और दूसरी है राष्ट्र भक्ति की। इन परिवारवादी पार्टियों ने देश के युवाओं को भी कभी आगे नहीं बढ़ने दिया। उनके साथ हमेशा विश्वासघात किया है।
From having just 2 members of parliaments in 1984 to now having over 300 in Lok Sabha and over 100 members of parliaments in Rajya Sabha, the rise of BJP has been phenomenal. And while right now the Bharatiya Janata Party is stronger than ever, a rise of regional parties, a growing anti-incumbency and issues like inflation and unemployment are threatening the hegemony of the Saffron Party. And the road to 2024 for the BJP may not be as easy as it seems right now. With camera person Sushil Rathi, I'm Akshay Dongre for NDTV.
Parliament has passed the Criminal Identification Bill that will now allow investigators to collect physical and biological samples of convicts and people accused of criminal activity. Responding to the debate on the bill, Home Minister Amit Shah tried to allay concerns over privacy fears and data leaks.
एक कहा गया कि भाई इसका दुरुपयोग होगा, निजता का हनन होगा। मान्यवर, ये सारा डेटा जो आएगा वो एनसीआरबी के पास रहेगा और मैं सबको आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि एनसीआरबी में जो डेटा आएगा वो सुरक्षित प्लेटफॉर्म पर और सुरक्षित हार्डवेयर के अंदर ही रहेगा। डेटा भंडारण में किसी तीसरे पक्ष, थर्ड पार्टी या निजी एजेंसियों को कोई स्थान नहीं मिलेगा। एनसीआरबी ही उसको मैनेज करेगी।
Responding to allegations that the police only files FIRs against the opposition, the Home Minister countered with a reference to Bengal in a comment that's likely to evoke very strong reactions from the ruling TMC.
संजय सिंह जी ने कहा कि गुजरात में ये FIR, अरे संजय बाबू, मान्यवर आपके माध्यम से मैं संजय बाबू को कहना चाहता हूं, अभी तो आप गुजरात गए हो, मुझे तो मालूम नहीं कोई FIR हुई या नहीं हुई इनकी पार्टी पर। कुछ करा होगा तो हो भी सकती है, मगर बंगाल चले जाओ जान चली जाएगी। अच्छा है अभी वहां गए नहीं हो आप। मैं गया था 2019 के चुनाव में, मेरे रोड शो पर आग के गोले फेंके गए, हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष गए नड्डा जी, इनकी गाड़ी को घेरकर उन पर जघन्य हमला किया गया।
NCP Chief Sharad Pawar and Prime Minister Modi spoke for 20 minutes today in a meeting that set a lot of speculation going. But it seems Mr. Pawar raised Central Probe Agency's action against leaders of Maharashtra's ruling coalition as well as other politicians who opposed the BJP.
A relentless onslaught by the centre's investigating agencies against Maharashtra's state ministers and leaders now brought to the Prime Minister by political stalwart Sharad Pawar, the architect of the Maha-alliance. Though with his ability to keep all sides guessing, it's also speculated he's the man who can bring it crashing down if he switches sides. In a 20-minute meeting in Parliament with the Prime Minister, Mr. Pawar said he raised the latest provocation of the ED attaching Vocal Sena MP Sanjay Raut's properties worth crores. This as Mr. Pawar's own party has two ministers, ex-Home Minister Anil Deshmukh and Minister Nawab Malik, currently in jail.
कुछ कदम ये सेंट्रल एजेंसी ने उठाए हैं, ये कदम है उनका फ्लैट और इनसे आधा एकड़ जमीन वो अटैच की है। हमें लगा कि ये इंडस्ट्री है, स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट will complete its tenure and this government in next election will go collectively.
In Raut's case, the agency alleges that his wife received 83 lakhs from property dealers and real estate developers 12 years ago, which was used to buy these properties. The agency calls this the proceeds of crime.
वो मिट जाएंगे लेकिन हम नहीं झुकेंगे।
किसी भी सूटर में चाहे कुछ भी कर ले,
क्या करेंगे? जेल में डालेंगे ना, उनके हाथ में और क्या है? जेल में डालेंगे। या सुबह मैं वॉक को जाता हूँ अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग, तो हरिन पंड्या जैसे हमको गोली मार देंगे, और क्या करेंगे? उनके हाथ में क्या है? हम नहीं, वो हमको पहचानते नहीं, और पहचानते हैं इसलिए सब चल रहा है।
अगर ये कार्रवाई हो रही है तो हम लोग कोर्ट जाएंगे, हमारा न्यायालय पर पूरा विश्वास है। लेकिन जब ईडी डॉक्यूमेंट्री एविडेंस के आधार पर, ट्रांजैक्शंस के आधार पर और डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट के आधार पर कोई कार्रवाई करती है तो ईडी को कोसा जाता है। ये एक प्रकार की इनकी रणनीति है। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उन्होंने ही शुड कम क्लीन।
From Abhishek Banerjee in West Bengal to Sanjay Rawat in Maharashtra and Satyendra Jain in Delhi, the central agencies are targeting the prominent leaders of these three states. While the opposition parties say that BJP is misusing the central agencies to target political opponents, the agencies say that the actions are based on evidence. With camera person Joseph, this is Arvind Gunasekar for NDTV.
The Aadmi Party's Mission Himachal began with Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann holding a roadshow in Mandi. The Aadmi Party has chosen the home turf of the incumbent Chief Minister to kickstart its campaign. Kejriwal, whose party is looking to expand its footprint after the landslide victory in Punjab, claimed that the AAP would uproot corruption from Himachal if it came to power.
Arvind Kejriwal taking on the BJP, borrowing from its playbook. After a landslide victory in Punjab, the Aadmi Party launched its Mission Himachal with the Delhi Chief Minister and Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann leading a roadshow in Mandi district, which is home of the BJP Chief Minister. The party has never contested in the small state before.
हिमाचल वालों, इस बार बारी हिमाचल प्रदेश की है। चाबी आपके हाथ में है। दिल्ली और पंजाब के लोगों ने करके दिखा दिया। इस बार क्रांति हिमाचल प्रदेश में। आप सब लोग इतनी भारी संख्या में आए, मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आने वाले चुनाव के अंदर हिमाचल प्रदेश दिल्ली और पंजाब के रिकॉर्ड भी तोड़ेगा, उससे भी ज्यादा सीटें लेके आएगा।
The Aadmi Party strategically scheduled the rally for today, which is the foundation day of the BJP. Firm on its ambition of national expansion, the Kejriwal-led party tried to send a clear message to the BJP and the Congress about its emerging as a strong alternative.
हिमाचल प्रदेश के अंदर पिछले 40 साल से एक फ्रेंडली मैच चल रहा है। एक बारी कांग्रेस आती है, वो हार जाती है तो बीजेपी आ जाती है, बीजेपी हारती है तो कांग्रेस आ जाती है, और दोनों बड़े कॉन्फिडेंट हैं। अब पहली बारी आम आदमी पार्टी आ गई है, इन दोनों का खेल खराब कर दिया, जो उनका फ्रेंडली मैच था उसको हमने खत्म कर दिया है।
Even though no big face from the BJP or the Congress joined the Aadmi Party, on the occasion there were large crowds.
प्रदेश की जनता है इन दोनों पार्टियों तंग आ चुकी है और इस बार आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी और बनेगी। सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा तो महंगाई है। आज की डेट में अगर पूरे देश में देखें और हिमाचल में देखें तो महंगाई सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है, क्योंकि जो पी माल का तेल 90 रुपए का मिलता था आज अप्रोक्सीमेट 200 रुपए में मिल रहा है। और पेट्रोल की बात करें तो जो 95 का आज 103-105 रुपए का है। तो महंगाई सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है। साथ में एजुकेशन में भी बहुत जरूरत है काम करने की। और केजरीवाल गवर्नमेंट ने जो काम किया है पंजाब और दिल्ली में, हम चाहते हैं कि हिमाचल में हम आम आदमी की पार्टी सरकार बने और यहाँ पे हम एजुकेशन पे काम करें।
Aam Aadmi Party didn't fight the 2017 assembly polls in Himachal Pradesh, but they are going to test their luck
in the Shimla Municipal Corporation elections to be held in couple of months from now. In Mandi, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.
The 80 paise nightmare continues. Every day another 80 paise hike in the prices of fuel in Mumbai, now record highs as petrol prices cross the 120 rupees a litre mark. But across the country it's the same story. Now a 10 rupee cumulative hike in petrol and diesel. Just how is this affecting small families and low income groups? Well, we find out.
"35-year-old Tawfiq Tahir Khan delivers food for Zomato, riding for about 100 kilometers each day. He says he has to put in about 350 rupees of his own for petrol, since what his company pays is not enough.
एवरी डे मुझे कम से कम 100 किलोमीटर चलाना पड़ता और जेब से एवरी डे मुझे 350 प्लस मुझे अपने जेब से डालना एक्स्ट्रा।
Sarvesh Soni, who runs a bike for Uber Moto, says the company pays 5 rupees per kilometer.
कंपनी पहले भी जितना दे रही है अभी भी उतना ही दे रही है। कंपनी का कुछ बड़ा नहीं है।
कितने रुपए आपको मिलते थे पहले? कितने रुपए आपको मिलते थे?
5 रुपए पर किलोमीटर देती है कंपनी।
अच्छा।
और पेट्रोल के दाम इतने बढ़ गए, 30 की अब देती है गाड़ी, 5 रुपए कैसे पड़ रहा है हम लोग को हम ही देखते हैं।
After going from auto owner to just a driver during the first lockdown, Mahendra is now unable to cope with the rising fuel prices.
पहले का जो भाड़ा था उसमें हम लोग को नहीं पहुंचाता है और इसलिए थोड़ा कितिर-पितिर होता है पैसेंजर का सर, हर रोज ही होता है। घर में तो चलना मुश्किल हो गया, भाड़ा हो रहा भी नहीं है, तेल का दाम तो हर रोज बढ़ता है।
Swapnil, an HR professional, has stopped using his car. He now uses a scooter to commute the 30 kilometer to work.
It is quite difficult for us to, put up a proper budget with including the petrol. Even the LPG, if I'm not wrong, recently it has crossed 1,000 mark.
Nagarajan, a mechanical engineer from rural Tamil Nadu, is struggling to find a job and says his only option is a cycle.
பசிக்கு வண்டி ஓட்டுற இன்ட்ரெஸ்டே இல்ல, சைக்கிளை எடுத்துட்டு நம்ம வீட்டிலே இருக்கலாம்னு இருக்கிறோம், ஏதோ ஒரு வேலையை பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கலாம்னு இருக்கிறோம்.
Before elections, the DMK had promised a 5 rupee cut in petrol price, but so far it has brought it down only by 3 rupees a litre. While there is pressure to reduce the price further, the DMK says the ball is now at the centre's court, which earns more from cess and other taxes. Not just the common man, the wild rise in fuel prices is affecting even the smallest businesses. With Pooja Bharadwaj in Mumbai, Ratnadeep in Guwahati, in Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find TV.
Meanwhile, India is providing fuel to Colombo so that it can meet some of its immediate needs and help stabilize the domestic economy. In fact, in the past 24 hours, a total of 76,000 tons of fuel were delivered to Sri Lanka, and the total supply of fuel under Indian assistance now stands at more than 2.7 lakh tons. In fact, the Indian embassy in Sri Lanka also tweeting saying India's credit line for fuel at work, and then with pictures of those fuel consignments. The Sri Lankan rupee has plummeted to a record low, selling at a rate of 304 to the dollar for the first time ever. Now, Sri Lanka's inflation rate is also accelerating and prices of essential goods are soaring, which is likely to intensify protests in a country that is now struggling with what appears to be an anarchy.